Hi, and welcome to Main's World of Wrestling. This is Wayne Gilmore, your host as usual, and it's available on my YouTube channel as always, and that's also called Wayne's World of Wrestling. The episode is the follow up to RIP, Retired in Peace, part 2. This is, and it's obviously about Mark Calaways' documentary, The Last Ride, and this is about the finale of the documentary series. If you like it, give me a thumbs up on YouTube, comment, good or bad, and subscribe if you like. Like I said, loved the full documentary, and we now know that he's officially retired from wrestling, and what a career he's had. So, and what a finale to the season. It's been one of the best documentaries, not just in wrestling, but for me, one of the best documentaries in any genre. So, like I said, I've enjoyed the full show, and the start of the first episode, it was in Madison Square Garden. I thought that was going to be the last time when he was teamed up with Braun Strowman and Reigns, but he was back there in September 2019, and it was for SmackDown. It was just him talking about it being his home and other legends that's been there, and he even takes a picture before he goes out, and he's under Elvis's picture in the hallway, which is fitting, and it was a big moment for him, seeing over the years, seeing him and Elvis and Muhammad Ali, because they were idols of his, and he speaks about the fans over the years getting him through some tough nights when he was feeling done in and stuff from matches over the years. Like the fans lighters in the arena, and the rest in peace chants got him through a lot of the nights, and it meant a lot to him. Talks about his dad, was proud of him, but he still couldn't believe he gave up a career in basketball for going to join WWE or join wrestling at that point. His dad couldn't get his head around that, but he was still so proud of his son. And he talks about his dad going to one of the wrestling events, and he's putting his boots on, his big trench coat and stuff, and his dad's asking about his boots and his trench coat and stuff like that. And then when it's time for him to put the eye makeup on, his dad kind of looks at him, and Mark Calloway says, "Yeah, your 6'8", 300+ pound son is actually putting eye makeup on," and his dad kind of just laughs. So it's quite funny that way. So and it's a bit emotional, and he says he misses his dad, which is pretty sad. But again, the episode, I'm thinking the episode was put on Father's Day because of maybe this reason, and also he's retiring to show that it's part of Father's Day as well, because he wants to be there for his kids as well. So I don't know whether, because there was about 3 or 4 week rest between episode between episode 3 and 4, so I'm thinking it was already filmed, so maybe that was why there was a gap, so it finished on Father's Day. So ends up in shows you a bit of the Broken Skulls session with Stone Cold, and he says he obviously wants to end it on his own terms, maybe a couple of matches, and he's not going to listen to other people telling him what to do. So when AJ Styles hears about this, he talks to Vince, and Vince tells him to go for it, and obviously AJ Styles is like, well, the worst thing Undertaker can say is no. Undertaker tells him he'd obviously think about it, give him a couple of weeks to think if he's going to do it or not, to see how physically fit he is, and if he would be interested in it, because earlier in the season, he does say that if there was one wrestler he would love to wrestle, it would be AJ Styles, because he reminds him of Shawn Michaels quite a lot, like his style and that. So but he wants to give it a good think before he decides yes or no. And Stone Cold does say in a documentary that he believes AJ Styles is the best wrestler today. So Taker goes in the office to work with a younger talent in WWF. Jokes with them that one of them looks quite stiff when he watches a video of them, and they all kind of laugh. And I believe that Undertaker could be maybe his next career path. If he did want to go down that route, he could easily work with younger talent, and he could learn a hell of a lot off them. So he goes in with young talent. He also goes in the ring with them. At one point, to see how physically fit he is, where he is physically, while he's training with him, to see if he would be ready for AJ Styles. It also shows you a bit with a 22-year-old Randy Orton in a match with Undertaker, and he'd been only in the company for a couple of weeks, and he takes so many bumps for Orton, and Orton obviously appreciates him doing that for him. And then after the match, they go backstage, and Vince is like, "What the hell are you doing?" And Undertaker's like, "Well, that's what I do. Bring the young kids along, give them opportunities." And Randy Orton straight away couldn't believe he gave him that chance. Took so many bumps, and then Randy Orton obviously realised what kind of guy Undertaker was, and he knew that he would return the favour for the Undertaker down the line. So what it was, sorry, and then Hardy also speaks about I've got notes here this time, because it was over an hour this episode, so, and I don't want to be stuttering too much. Obviously I probably will still anyway, but Hardy speaks about his Raw match with the Undertaker, and how much he appreciated that match, and he learned so much from that match with Undertaker, and Undertaker could see so much potential in Hardy. So Undertaker was happy with the training with the younger guys, and you could see how happy he was, and that's what makes me think that could be the next career move for him. If he does obviously stay away from the ring as a wrestler, he could train up the younger guys, and they would definitely benefit from it from me. But he does say that if he is going to get in this match with AJ Styles, he can't go in half-assed, especially with a guy as good as AJ. And then he goes on to talk about the match with Flair at WrestleMania 18. And he can't believe the match before, the lead up to the match, and Flair goes up to him and he's telling him Flair's actually got no self-confidence after coming back from WCW. He's got a lot of self-doubt, and Undertaker's just like, well, you're Ric Flair for fuck's sake, kind of thing. You're like, you are wrestling. And obviously Flair talks about that on the Broken Skull sessions as well, which I still couldn't believe that Flair was like lacking in confidence with when you know who he is and how much he's done in WWF. So, but because of that as well, Undertaker now believes that what self-confidence can disappear as well, or what he's been through in the last couple of years. And then he's like, but I'm kind of this guy, it's never going to go away, like the feeling that he gets. And he's one of these guys that maybe he's going to end up making his way down the ring in a walker. So that kind of made me laugh, and Undertaker kind of chuckled as well, so it's quite funny. And then when he does decide, he tells Vince McMahon he's decided that he's going to have a match with AJ Styles at Mania 36, but he tells Vince to tell him, kid on him, no, don't want to have a match with him, and there's a kid from Tennessee that I want to bring along. And obviously AJ Styles kind of doesn't fall for it with Vince, and phones Undertaker up and says, you're talking shite, you're bullshitting me. And Undertaker obviously keeps him, I think he kept him going for a wee bit, but he ends up saying, no, I was kidding you on, it's definitely happening, me and you at WrestleMania 36. So but Undertaker does say before the Saudi Arabia kind of debacle, again I didn't like this, but anyway, before that choke slam match, he did say in the documentary he wouldn't come back for anybody apart from AJ Styles in WWF, which is mega respect for AJ Styles, but for me he is probably the best wrestler in WWF right now, or WWE. But I didn't like the Undertaker coming out Saudi and he keeps his hat on, keeps his coat on, and chokeslams AJ, and that was it. Beats him 1, 2, 3. For me, that's not the best thing to do for a build up for a match at Mania, because it kind of shows that Undertaker could just beat him with a chokeslam. I thought it was a bit daft. Vince and him are backstage. Vince is in the gorilla position with Heyman, and he laughs saying, that was a quick match kind of thing, and Undertaker's like, well, you know, my matches are, my walkout is longer than my matches these days. And they kind of just pissed themselves laughing, so that was kind of funny, but I didn't like the concept of him just chokeslamming AJ when we know how good AJ is. Anyway, when he's training hard, and he says he knows he needs to be conditioned for Styles and to be the best taker that he can be. He needs to train 10 times as hard as he used to for just a quarter of the results, which is probably true for the way his in-ring ability is these days. So being 55, how much slower he is, his reactions are. I can understand that. So, and it just shows you his commitment still, how much he still wants to do it for the fans, do it for himself, do it for Vince. And his work ethic, it's still second to none. AJ's promos, unreal. Winding up Mark, actually calling him Mark Calloway, instead of the Undertaker addressing him as Mark. So it's very personal. Saying he can't get out unless it's up to, he's only allowed out once a year because Michelle lets him out. Saying that Michelle's the one that's going to bury him into the ground. Michelle's the boss. Just kind of taking the piss. And Michelle McCool's actually, I think Michelle McCool is she's pals with AJ's wife as well. I think they're all kind of pally, and she actually phones AJ's wife while the promo's on live, and she's like, actually, your husband's cutting that good a promo. I'm actually hating him, kind of hating him right now. So that's how good AJ's promo was, that Michelle McCool's blood was boiling a bit, which is kind of, that's him doing his job well. So Undertaker then comes back with, well, you're getting personal with me and my wife. You're taking it that far that he's going to turn into a bit of the Undertaker, a bit of the American Badass, and Mark Calloway all in. You know what I mean? So he's becoming the three characters in one for AJ Styles at Mania. But Undertaker was laughing while you see him watching a promo on his phone in his training facility. So he's kind of laughing while watching it, but he says he's gonna get him. So it's pretty personal, but AJ's doing well with it. And then Undertaker come back with, I'll bring in the three guys for you to defend the honour of his wife. Undertaker does talk about when the Attitude Era's kicking in, that if he stood as the dead man kind of character Undertaker, that the Undertaker might have not been around. So that's why he turned into the American Badass Judgment Day 2000. May the 21st Judgment Day was, and that's why he turned into the Harley Davidson, the biker American Badass, because then he could take the reins off the mic skills, and he kind of had a bit more of an attitude. Because he had to, because obviously The Rock, Stone Cold, the trash talking sort of shit, and that's where the American Badass character came from. My mate Jim, who does Learning the Ropes with me, and comes on here sometimes, he loved the American Badass Undertaker, but he is, obviously we've had our greatest of all time characters in wrestling, and his best wrestler was Stone Cold, so he does always like the trash talking kind of guys. So coming up to WrestleMania, coronavirus, everybody knows that what's happening there. Turn Mania into a no crowd event. Some of the Raws and SmackDowns leading up to it were no crowds, so there was rumours that Mania might not happen or whatever, but they turned it round, and that's how the Boneyard match was born. Undertaker says in the documentary they turned chicken shit into chicken salad. So watching the documentary here was quite cool. Again, it wasn't just seeing Mark Calloway as the man, the dad as the human. It was the setup for the match was like a small movie set, so you seen kind of behind the scenes and how they were setting it up and that sort of stuff. So that was quite cool. I enjoyed seeing that side of it. Like I said, not every one of my wrestling friends enjoyed the match. I think it was good, but again, some of them didn't. On the way back from one of the days, I think it was the 24th of March, Undertaker was coming back to the Performance Centre, and his phone rings, and it's his niece, and it was the ring just before the voicemail, so he picks it up, and his niece says that her dad's took a heart attack, which is Undertaker's brother Tim, and so Undertaker obviously just says, well, I'm sure he said he was from Boston, says like what hospitals he went to, and then he says like, well, he's not in hospital, and Undertaker's like, well, what do you mean? And she's like, oh, he didn't make it, he's actually passed away. And obviously Undertaker's like kind of getting emotional when he's talking on the documentary, and you can see it in his eyes, he's like welling up a bit, and he's like, it's been it's hard, it's like a hard week kind of with the coronavirus and the situation as it is. And then he's like, obviously he's having to deal with hearing his brothers just died, and then because his family's not all together, he feels it's harder to deal with that way, and it's his responsibility to phone his mum and phone his other brothers. So it's a really sad time for him and his family at that point. So it's again right on the doorstep of sorting this match out for him and AJ Styles at WrestleMania, and his brother passed. So it's a sad time for Mark and his family. Taker was happy with the match, the way it went. He called it a hellacious fight, and maybe the last time he does this. And he felt like it was symbolic, him riding away on a motorbike. And at that point, I thought that was the end of his career. I think that was him finished. But then when I spoke to a few of my friends who, a couple of them were Undertaker fans, and a couple of them, like I say, my mate Jim, he's Stone Cold, and a couple of my other mates are just wrestling fans. I can't remember every one of their favourites, but a few of them started saying, well, I think he would prefer to be bowing out in front of a crowd. And then that's when I started getting doubts. I was like, actually, maybe Survivor Series, that would be his 30-year anniversary. But my argument at first was, well, if his body is physically shutting down, or he's just no right physically. Obviously, the coronavirus was the thing that the AJ Styles match, he did explain on this as well, that it wasn't meant to be a boneyard match. It was going to be, I think it was going to just be a normal match in a ring, where AJ Styles would have carried him a bit, and Undertaker would have still done some stuff, but it would have been AJ Styles that done most of it. So the boneyard match wasn't a planned thing before the virus. So if he had the great match with AJ Styles in the ring in front of the crowd, that would have been the end anyway. But like I said, I really hope if this is the last match, he does just stay away. And I hope the way Vince does speak, the way I've seen Vince in this documentary and the way he is with Undertaker, it's as if he has got 100% respect for Mark Calloway. So I hope he doesn't phone Mark Calloway and say, oh, look, just one more match again, and he does leave him alone. Or maybe Undertaker will become his right hand man, and that will be good for creative, because Vince will actually listen to him instead of what he's done with, I feel like what he's done with Paul Heyman. He's still not really took Paul Heyman's ideas on board. He might have took a couple of them, but it's still Vince's number. Vince is still the final say, and that's why WWE is still the best from in my opinion in this day and age. Anyway, so 5 minutes into the match, he's cut his arm, and he puts his forearm through the glass. They stop the match. They need to take the glass out his arm and wash up the arm and stuff. Had to sort out. So then they had to sort out the cams again, lights, and Undertaker was physically feeling pain already, having to stand about waiting and that. And he did say it was end up being a long night, and he didn't finish the actual match all in until 5 a.m. But what he loved was the end product. He said it was cool, how it finished up. Once he seen it, and the feedback from social media, from all the wrestling kind of people, like the critics and that, were all positive. So Triple H said as well in the documentary, Taker's back, storytelling was great, and if this is the last one, then it is a good ending. But 2 months after Mania, it comes on the documentary. What I loved is he looks at peace, out fishing with Michelle, and all he's caring about is catching fish. So I just hope that he is just at peace and just wants to be with his family now, and he just leaves wrestling behind. I know it has been his life for 30 years, and it's not easy just to walk away, like Ric Flair said in, I think it was near the end of episode 4. Ric Flair says it's hard just to leave something you love so much and you've done for your full adult life, and Shawn Michaels said the same, but Shawn Michaels said something about painting the picture and looking in the mirror and being happy with what you see in the mirror. So, but Michelle McCool's nephew passed in a car accident as well. So it's 2 deaths in the family, quite close to each other. And then Undertaker mentions about Kobe Bryant dying, and that kind of hit home. It made Undertaker think about life and to appreciate life, and life's not as it's not as long as you think it is. When you're like, obviously he's 55 now, and you start thinking about, oh wait a minute here, it's like I'm no spring chicken anymore, and instead of being on the road, or obviously Undertaker's not on the road anymore, but you still maybe want to be with your family instead of doing other things, especially like Undertaker's get plenty of money and he's got security, so doesn't need to do all that stuff anymore if he doesn't need to, if he doesn't want to. His wee girl, they asked the wee girl again, who did you want to win, and she's like, AJ, and she's like, oh no, I meant Daddy, and he just kind of kids when he's got to walk away, and you see, like I said, in my last podcast, they're so peaceful on the steps. I love that camera moment, just looking on the 3 of them. He's happy, he's content with his career and his legacy. Loves his wife and children, and I think he does need to be Mark Calloway now, after being the Undertaker for so long. And he speaks about the fact he climbed on the motorbike and then taken off. So, and he obviously feels like that's the perfect ending. That was that. No desire to get back in the ring, but if Vince is in a pinch, he'd never say never. So like I sort of said, hope Vince doesn't phone him up and just leaves him alone. The cowboy really rides away, but the documentary has helped him not judge himself so harshly. More good outside the ring now than in. And he's got 2 families, and he's been grateful for having 2 families. He's got wife and kids, and he's had the one on the road. So I think his peers, near the end of the episode, they were all saying that nobody sees the Undertaker as nobody's really got a bad word to say about him. They all respect him, they all love him, they all miss him. His fans will miss him. Like I'm one of his fans. I'll miss what he's done all these years. The matches he's had, the classics, his work ethic. Like this documentary shows how much he's loved backstage. Like, I just think if he does want to be Vince's right hand man. I think it would be a good thing for the product, because Undertaker's got so much knowledge in WWE. His matches over the years have just, it's like been my childhood as just before a teenager, and then right throughout. I'll continue to watch his older matches, his early matches. I just near the end of the episode, and he's like, I want to thank Brett, I want to thank Triple H, Shawn Michaels, Vince. Thanked a few people, and then I seen AJ on Twitter today saying, if this is your last match, I was been so grateful. So he's just done so much in wrestling, and I think he deserves to go out the way he's went out. And if that is him content, then they should just leave him alone. And I'm happy that he was one of the guys that kept me into wrestling. Like all his matches, not all his matches. I think the last few years I was one of the critical fans that said that he should quit. But then watching this documentary, he said nobody's more critical than him, and I understand that now. But after seeing him in a tag match with Roman and Shane and McIntyre, he could still go. Cena match, he could have still went longer there. And I still think the Roman Reigns match, I know he mistimed some stuff, but it's still half decent. It's just not as good as what he used to be able to do. I'm glad I was at WrestleMania 24 to see him have a great match with Edge. Like, so many counters for Edge and so many good spots with Undertaker as well. I was happy to be over in New Jersey at the MetLife for him and CM Punk. Really, 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 really great match. And I'm glad this documentary's come out. I think the documentary has opened my eyes to how nice a guy is, how emotional he is, how open he's been in it, how cool a dad he is, how much he does behind the scenes, how much a leader he is. I mean, I've loved seeing Vince. I think I'd like to see a Vince documentary. I'm no, like I said, I'm not the biggest fan of Vince these days, but again, without Vince, there wouldn't be Undertaker, as he obviously created him. Without Vince, there wouldn't be WrestleMania. There wouldn't be a lot without him. So I wouldn't mind seeing a Vince documentary. But all in all, The Undertaker has done it all, and if that was his swan song, cool. I liked the documentary because you've seen his human side. I know that there was a few people on Twitter saying, "Oh, it's your broke character," but it's his prerogative, it's his life. who are you to judge what somebody can do? There's a lot of that on Twitter now, judging juries. Everybody's got their own opinion and stuff, but Undertaker's the true legend. He's shown that time and time again. I said the Goldberg match, both of them one of the best. On paper, Goldberg's never been great in my opinion, but I really hope Undertaker or Mark. I think if he wants to just be the family guy now, then all the best to him. If he decides to stay behind the scenes in wrestling, I think the best place for him would be to help the young talent. But if he wanted to, he could easily be Vince's right hand man, and Vince would actually take stuff on board, what he would say. So anyway, saying that, thanks for all the memories, mate. Thanks for this documentary series. Thanks for being a phenom, the dead man, being having great rivalries with Kane, Mankind, Edge, everybody. You've just, I don't know, I just think you're the best, and it's over, I think, and I don't want him to come back for one more match, or this one more match thing. Everybody says, keeps saying to people, I think AJ Styles is the one that should be the one that finishes your career. It would have been better in the ring for my liking, but it is what it is. And like I said, it's the Undertaker's career, and I'm just some mad 41-year-old Scottish guy that's just a fan, and I just love your career, and know I love you as a guy after seeing your documentary. So anyway, all the best with the rest of your life, mate. And to anybody that was listening, thanks for listening in. If I can get another 100 views, I would be like so happy, but I don't think that'll happen. So anyway, thanks for listening. God bless everybody. Like I said, like the video, comment, good or bad, subscribe, whatever. Take care, and hope you retire in peace. Take care. Thanks. Bye bye.